Hello viewers, my name is Tom. I used to work here at Apparent as a designer, and this is a video walkthrough of the design system that I've created, or not so much created, but inherited from a template that uh, will be repurposed into any future website or website related builds and designs that the agency is going to do. So we're going to take you through some of the details and how things are working. Okay, so the template is based off of this um, template. It's a generic template. It's got the untitled UI, and I will provide a link to this particular file. So this is a very good template. It's got incredible depth in terms of everything: color, typography, and there's a lot of documentation related to how the typography works and colors and logos. It is the ultimate um, template for any agency related projects, and I strongly advise whoever is watching this video should go and investigate this template as much as possible, because what I've done is I've taken parts of this template to build out a particular page, which I will show you. It's for a client called Isometric Technologies. So I built out their website using parts of this template, and all the components are talking to each other. We've used variants, we've used auto layout, and they've actually already been set up in the template. I've just completely just pulled them out of the template and created a new design system for the website. So just to take you through the rest of the template, and there's massive pages upon pages of everything. We have shadows and blurs, grids and spacings, which is very useful for developers, mock-ups, and they've included different designs options. You can choose different layouts, and obviously buttons. They've listed 5 different sizes for buttons, social buttons, tags, and documentation. This is a super in-depth um, design system. Let's just go over to the example that I'm talking about for isometric technologies. So in all future projects for Apparent, we will have a style guide file, which will be called the library file, named by the client, and it will contain basic brand elements like color, but obviously they will be tweaked for web projects. There will be RGBs, typography, so these will be set up as Figma styles, logos, so these are the logos for the company that we've designed the website for, grids and spacing, which I didn't actually change from the Untitled UI, so these are pre-existing, and you might notice every spacing that we have used are multiples of 8 when it comes to button height, the width of things, the padding between different modules. Everything will be multiples of 8, and it's a very good practice. It retains very good visual consistency across the site. We have a list of icons. So this is the same icons from the UI kit. It's a very extensive list. I've added a few more variations for the social icons, but you can add or remove any groups of icons as you see fit for your project. I've included a page for illustrations. So these are the style of illustrations that we're doing for isometric. Backgrounds are specific to the brand, and also photography specific to the brand as well. These are very loose layouts, but these are the pages that these assets will appear on. So when you publish this assets, you have to go to the Assets tab and publish your library. So this will be the isometric library. Once you publish that, then you should go ahead and create a working file for your website. And once you created that file, go to the book icon again and make sure you have the isometric library or the library that you just created enabled. It's very important. Otherwise, none of the elements will appear, like the styles or the assets will appear. Once you enable that, you're ready to go. So this is the file for the isometric website build. I've included a few layers. We're not going to look at the UX layer today because the purpose of the video is to take you through the UI side of things. So there is a layout and assets group. Underneath that, we have, I've kept it quite high just for convenience. So this will be the page where all the layout of the page are going to sit. We're going to include a page for desktop and a page for mobile. There's also a page for all the image assets. So this is almost a bit of a playground file. And also just another page for animation. We are doing some very intricate diagramming animations, and I'm just documenting them here, or documenting the animations here. And we also have the shared components library. I've kept it pretty simple because the website is pretty simple. It's just a brochure website. So I've just kept some styles for the button, some toggle buttons. We have a primary style. We have 5 different sizes. You might not need 5 different sizes. You could just use 3 or 4. But we want to make sure we document the style for each state. And one pretty neat trick is you could add a bit of interaction on these states. So what I've added here is the interaction. So while you're hovering over this instance, it changes over to the rollover state. So whenever you use this weapon, so whenever you are prototyping using these components, when you roll over these buttons, it will automatically have that show you the rollover effect, which is pretty neat. So that's the buttons page, and we also have the form field page as well. So that includes all the drop down, the text fields, and the validations as well. I've included some check radio buttons, 2 different sizes, very basic. And following that, we have really the meat of the website. So these are the components sections. And these are a combination of singular components and multiple components that make up a section. And I'll show you examples of both. So in the navigation, we have components. So these are single components. And they're all done with auto layout to make sure everything is easily editable and manageable down the line, depending on how complicated the project is. So there is the mobile sizes and also the desktop sizes. And there's 2 states for the drop-down navigation rollover. And this is the top section of the website. So we've called it the header sections. So in here, we have the designs for all the different headers. So there is a large header for the home page. We just call it homepage headers, and there's a mobile version of that one. A form for a header for the form pages. We've included the form fields in there just for convenience as well. You don't have to, but for this particular instance, we have. And also the subpage headers, which we have a variety of. We have a version with illustrations, a version with the UI in situ shot, and a version with photography. And you might have noticed we've grouped the 3 variations along with their mobile counterparts into a variant group. So I'm not going to talk about variants. So it's a bit of a disclaimer, which I should have mentioned, that you need to have understanding of variants and auto layout for a lot of what I'm talking about to make sense. And if you haven't, I strongly recommend you go familiarize yourself with that. So everything here is a variant group. It is a lot of work to set this up front, but the advantage is once you have set up this variant group, and if you can see if you have this one selected, you have two options select here in the drop down. So I can change this into any other variation of it. I can change this into a UI, or I can change this into an illustration in the layout, which I will show you. We also have the blog headers. So basically, this is the headers page. And following that, we have the features page. This includes a number of different components and component groups. We have an image and text variant group. So we have two. I have another group hidden. We can have up to 3 group. And because of auto layout, all the canvases, all the artboards automatically resize, which is very neat and a big time saver. And this is the mobile design for that. Also the photo, we have a photo version. That's done the same way as the header version that I've just shown you with these variants. We have a bullet and four bullet points and image module, and a logo module that has a ton of logos, a icons and a bullet point module. And we also have these set up so we can have however many bullet points that we want to include in that module. So we can turn one off. You might have noticed the 3 that's left automatically re-attributes themselves across that width, which is pretty neat and a great time saver. And same for the mobile one. If we hide one, you notice the artboard automatically resizes as well. So we don't want to break this auto layout behavior if possible, because just because how much time it will save you. We have the image and bullet times 3 bullet points, and we alternate the direction of them. We have the image in center module. We have a single image. We have image gallery option as well as a variant. We have intro paragraphs. We have that for the mobile there is no icon, and also a more graphical treatment version. And also we have the blog section. So because there is a blog section to the site, we have included the cards that sits on the blog header, which I can show you again. So in here, so there's one size for desktop and one size for mobile, and the content section is one component as well. There's a mobile size for that. Related posts that follows the content, that's a section as well. So the reason why we're using section is just to go back to the layout. We can easily, when we're working with sections, we can easily just stack them on top of each other, because the whole page again is laid out using auto layout. So we can easily just move sections around, or we can hide sections. And you might notice the artboard automatically trim. Again, massive time saver. And same for desktop as well. It just takes a lot of that management thinking and fiddling around away. So if you can think in terms of sections and make sure every section that you have is, in this case, 1440 width, you can really roll out web pages very quickly. Metrics, we have 4 different variants of a metric: more graphical treatment, 3 stats, company sizes, testimonials. Just have one variation of that. It's a very basic website. In terms of depth, it only scratches the surface of what the Untitled original template offers. But this is a very good starting point. for most of the brochure sites, most of the clients' requirements. We have FAQ, that's also a component. It's a component which also happens to be a section because it's 1440. A footer is 1440 as well. So basically this is the layout file for the site. And we can, once we have them laid out, they are, we can create prototypes out of them as well. Just want to see if I can demonstrate some of the power, I guess, of auto layout. So we have this group here, this within the section. It is the image and text group. We have three of them, 3 containers. So in the container, we have a auto layout group for the left-hand side and a group for the image itself. Within the content group, you can turn the action on and off. Notice when I turned it off, the rest of the elements automatically horizontally or vertically aligned itself to the image. So these are very, very good time-saving behavior that's going to benefit you as a designer when you're managing 20, 30 pages of them. Not that we should have that many pages. And so basically this is the design system. If there is any questions, please email Ankit or Simon or Florence, because they are using this template and they're very familiar with them. I wish you all the best. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.